So carrying on, I'm now in Middleton Arndale, in Middleton. Now where BM Express is, there used to be a Woolworths, and that's where I used to look at my Transformers as a kid and never been able to afford them. So like around there, obviously it was extended. It was around there. I'd always look at kind of like Optimus Prime. I'd never be able to afford him. Or Megatron. Or kind of sort of like Jazz or Bumblebee. I could never afford Transformers as a kid because I was so penniless. And it was a one woman stroke son family. And my father obviously was Sheila in Burnley, so it was just me, my mother and my nana really. This used to be a Woolworths. I'm sure it was a Woolworths, could be wrong. But I'd stare at Transformers as a kid, man. But yeah, not too much has changed in regards to Arndale. I'd say not too much, but so like certain shops have changed, obviously, and there's kind of sort of like more additions now. But I've noticed with the escalators, they've changed the escalators because it was when I was with the Wimbledons, Barry and Ian, one night, like towards like 6-7 p.m. mark. It was kind of sort of like just it was shutting down, the shops were shut, but the centre was still open as such, and the stairs are still there. But there used to be there used to be escalators. Used to be escalators here. Used to be escalators here, and then going up and down there. And they've removed the escalators. The lift is still there. That was there then, and the steps are there. But you can see what they've done is that escalator is still there. But as we were playing on the escalators, literally playing on the escalators, and I'm on about like jumping on them and hanging on to them. Satch, his stepfather, caught me, Barry and Ian, and we were like all the only ones in the centre just going up and down the escalators, just hanging on like monkeys. And he was walking through Middleton and he caught me and says, "What are you doing?" and all this bit. Anyways, he carted me off, and I'll never forget Ian Wimbledon running past me and Satch, laughing his head off. But yeah, hilarious. So where Shoe Zone is now, right here, Shoe Zone, Holland and Barrett, used to be, I'm more than positive, a Morrison's, and that's where my nana caught shoplifting. She got caught shoplifting for bacon money. And it was out of there, and she'd shoplift all the time. She was drunk, she didn't have any money, it was the 80s. Part and parcel, I'm afraid, for a lot of people back then, growing up and having no money, no job, no work, the industrial side of things in Middleton, it was the shit. And obviously from what I remember, Jim Allen, didn't he write about all of this? But what I'll do is I'll take you up the stairs, where you can see their Middleton shopping centre. That balcony is where that didn't used to be there. So it was a kind of sort of like just empty there. That. But the important part is here, and this is where Mood is where WIMPY'S was, and that's where my mother would take me for a. It's where she would take me for a Coke float. Now WIMPY'S in the 80s, obviously it was your treat as a kid. Well, it was my treat as a kid, and WIMPY would be around here. And when my mother says, "Do you fancy a WIMPY'S?" obviously I'd be bubbling in excitement. And I think you'll find the shopping centre right at the very end there is the car park where we used to play a lot. That leads back out to the bottom of where the bowling green is. So if you go down there, you go out there, you're at the far end of that. So it's just really seeing that there is just really kind of sort of like everybody's got their kind of blends and forms and levels of nostalgia, and fuck me have I got it's really nostalgic about that. So the kind of like the negative energy is still there. I mean, I suppose the negative energy was different. It was different back then to what it is now. Now it's a little bit more kind of like hostile. But back then they used to, the Bucky's is still there. The Brooks is still there. I'm more than positive that was there all those years ago. More than positive. So there's a back entrance to the shopping centre, which is where I was in terms of Woolworths. That side entrance leads to the back of the bus station. So what I'm going to do is, there's no point in taking you to Tesco because it's all knocked down now. There's no point in that, so I won't even bother doing that. But what I'll do is I'll walk up to obviously where my nana was buried. She was cremated. She wasn't buried. She was cremated, from what I remember anyway. And it was 2004 that the whole family. So I'll take you up to the parlour where me, my mother, and Marlene, and when we had the after do, and everybody would talk about my nana's hair. How it used to be really kind of like big hair, permed, and not permed, but kind of like almost like candy-like in a way, or whatever the word is. So yeah, but it's all changed, a lot of it. But what's really prominent is Jeffrey's Casino. Is I'm more than positive that's where Middleton Cinema was. Well, between kind of like there and there. So really, really important. I've got an incoming call, but I have to ignore that because I'm in the middle of this. But more importantly, the Warwick's still there. There's proper Moonraker patch, isn't it? It really is such a Moonraker patch, man. I miss it in a way, but when you reflect back in your memories and all the rest of it, it's kind of sort of like, obviously it's emotional, but for a 48-year-old to remember memories as a 10-year-old, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, it's a lot, man. But it's where you began. You should always remember where you begin and treasure it. Like there's no tomorrow. Like you'll never see it again. And as I've seen it after years and years away, it just brings that really kind of like tender felt touch out in you. It really does. What I'll do is I think we're going to go for a quick pint. Why not? And there's no better place than the Roebuck.